Hey everybody, today I'm going to do a little tribute to Linda Ronstadt, one of my favorite female voices, particularly in the 1970s. She wasn't a songwriter in the mood of Joni Mitchell or Carole King, or even Carly Simon for that matter, but she was a great interpreter of other folks' music. She would pick out great songs from all of the contemporary artists of the day and put her own spin on it. Really solid. There were other fans of Linda's in the VC. I want to shout out to Craig from A to Z Music Haven, and also Tony, Two for the Trunk. I know those guys are real big fans of Linda, as much or even more so than I am. So Linda Ronstadt was born in Phoenix, Arizona in 1946. She was in a group called the Stone Ponies in the mid to late 60s. Had a relatively big hit with a different drum with the Stone Ponies. It was written by Mike Nesmith. From there, she branched out into a solo career, put 3 or 4 albums out before she really hit it big. She was doing some TV in those days on the variety shows. I remember seeing her on the Glenn Campbell show, and Johnny Cash had a summertime show, I believe, and she sang on there. And believe it or not, she also appeared on Playboy After Dark with Hugh Hefner, and she made an appearance there. So she was working her way to Los Angeles through the circuit there, and eventually put out an album. This was not a big hit, but this is one of her early albums called Silk Purse. It had a song called Long, Long Time, which is a ballad, always a favorite of mine. And this sort of got her started in her career. It made the radio stations back then. I think it was a top 20 hit maybe, but nothing too big. From there, another album or two followed, and finally she hooked up with producer Peter Asher of Peter and Gordon fame, a 60s act, and Peter Asher took her under his wing and produced her album Heart Like a Wheel, which came out in 1974, produced a #1 hit, You're No Good, which was all over the radio. And on this album, this may be her best album. She puts out songs from Buddy Holly, It Don't Matter Anymore. Paul Anka wrote it, but Buddy Holly had a hit with it. James Taylor's You Can Close Your Eyes. When Will I Be Loved, which is an Everly Brothers song. Willin', Lowell Judge of Little Feat fame, a great version of that. And I Can't Help It If I'm Still in Love with You by Hank Williams. She was doing a lot of country rock at that time. Fantastic voice, a powerful voice, but she could do the ballads too. And she was on her way from this album. The next year she came out with Prisoner in Disguise. This is, there she is on the back. Beautiful. We got the gatefold, this chorus, with the lyrics. Another solid choice of songs here. Love is a Rose, which is a Neil Young song. Another James Taylor tune. Another Lowell George tune. Tracks of My Tears, the old Smokey Robinson Motown hit. Prisoner in Disguise, the title track, was written by J.D. Souther, who was her boyfriend at the time. J.D. Souther and Glenn Frey of the Eagles had a band for a short time until they broke up. The Eagles were formed. J.D. went solo and was writing songs. Heat Wave, Martha Reeves and the Vandellas, another Motown classic, is on here. Many Rivers to Cross by Jimmy Cliff. You Tell Me That I'm Falling Down is a particular favorite of mine. Dolly Parton's I Will Always Love You is on here as well. So a great follow-up album, Prisoner in Disguise, Linda Ronstadt. The following year, 1976, Hasten Down the Wind, another fantastic album here. I really love this. This has 3 songs written by Carla Bonoff, who was a singer-songwriter of that era. Never really made it big. Turned her songs over to Linda. Linda really did knockout renditions of those songs. Lose Again is a great song. If He's Never Near, excuse me. And of course, the great Someone to Lay Down Beside Me, which is an absolute lyrical masterpiece and a beautiful version here by Linda. What else is on here? Crazy, the Willie Nelson song. That'll Be the Day, the Buddy Holly classic. Hasten Down the Wind, which was written by Warren Zevon and appears on one of his early albums. Again, beautiful stuff. These are all on the Asylum label. Again, produced by Peter Asher. 1977, Simple Dreams. Now, this particular album, she had Poor, Poor, Pitiful Me and Blue Bayou, which were two big radio staples in 1977. Tumbling Dice, the old Rolling Stones song, she does a great version. It's So Easy, another Buddy Holly song. She loved Buddy Holly, obviously. She's got 3 or 4 of his songs on here. I Will Never Marry, I believe that is a Dolly Parton song. But anyway, Linda Ronstadt, and here's her band that she was touring with at the time, including Russ Kunkel, the drummer, Waddy Wachtel, lead guitar, Kenny Edwards, her bass player. Those were guys that were on this album and touring in her band. Then she came out with another album, Living in the USA. She's on the roller skates there. Back in the USA is the name of the song. That was a Chuck Berry tune. Just One Look, the old Doris Troy. Allison, Elvis Costello's classic, is given a new spin here. All That You Dream, which is a Little Feat song. Ooh Baby Baby, a Smokey Robinson. Love Me Tender, the old Elvis track. And Mohammed's Radio, again, by the great Warren Zevon. This time she's on, is it still Asylum? Yeah, it's Asylum Records. That's what she was, who she was recording for at the time. Does this have a gatefold? Yes, it does. I showed you that already. Next was Mad Love, 1980. Now this is when she started losing my interest a little bit. She still had some good songs on here, but she was about to go in a different direction. What do we have here? Girls Talk, Elvis Costello. Hurt So Bad, which is an old ballad from the 60s. Not as strong as the other albums. And then she started doing stage plays. She did Pirates of Penzance. She did a bunch of classic standards with Nelson Riddle. So that was a whole different direction. She didn't want to repeat herself with the pop rock country vibe of the 60s. Then she started getting into Latino music, which I never really bought any of those albums because she is of Latin descent, Mexican descent, I believe. So that was a whole new genre that she was exploring. She did many albums of Latino music. There's also the required greatest hits that everybody has to put out at one time or another, and she's got a killer greatest hits album here with all her best work, particularly of the 70s. Another retrospective, a double album, a look back at her career. It has different drum on here and all the way through till the end of the 70s. So great stuff. There was a DVD or a movie actually made, a documentary of her life as well within the last few years after she got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That is on Amazon Prime, I believe. Check that out if you haven't seen it. It goes through her entire career, and it gives you a new respect on how great her voice was, how well she was respected by her peers as well. So that's my look at Linda Ronstadt. Hope you enjoyed. Please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. I appreciate any comments that you'd like to make. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.